Well, it is time to continue the story in GB3 2025. Hello everyone and welcome to the third weekend of the season. And we are racing around a circuit like no other. A circuit that's currently in your picture. Look at these amazing scenes around Spa, which is where GB3 cars are about to hit the road and get going for their opening race of the weekend. After a mixed qualifying yesterday, it leaves us set. It leaves us with so many unknowns about what we're going to see, with 2 races on the Saturday and 1 on the Sunday, unlike what we've had so far. Well, hello everyone and welcome back to this extraordinary GB3 Championship. It is some season that we are seeing and we cannot wait for it to get underway. It's going to be extraordinary. Spa is well poised and ready for some amazing GB3 action in 2025. As I mentioned, it is our third weekend of the series and we go racing around a circuit which was opened in 1921 and the fastest lap was set by Luke Browning in 2022 around this circuit. But with these machines, I don't know if that will last. I think that could be beaten. Some extraordinary complexes of corners, challenging corners as well, around a calendar that is F1 style, which helps better prepare these drivers for when they get to levels like Formula 3 and Formula 2. We have 101 meter of elevation change. We have two DRS zones for you. One down towards La Source, one down the extraordinary passing opportunity that is the Kemmel Straight. And this is going to be action packed. This is going to be quite a lot of fun. We cannot wait to get this one started for you as we make our way through them. It's going to be quite a lot of fun. So, as you can see right now with our timings, they are slightly glitched, but they will fix themselves as well. And they will hopefully do so soon, as they are a little bit glitchy. Now, the annoying thing is, every week there's a different timing system. Round 1, we had TSL, which is what we'll have for most of the season. Round 2, we of course find ourselves having the timings of Zandvoort, so a different timing system there. And then we have a different timing system here once again, because we're at Spa. So 3 different countries means that it's an absolute mess in terms of having to sort out live timings. And especially as I'm not there live doing the race, it does mean that, you know, timings can be slightly glitched and slightly messed up. Which is really, really annoying. And it's absolutely frustrating that timings are not working. Timings are not being able to cooperate with us. But luckily, we've got them working to some degree, and we've got timing set up nicely. But hopefully, when we do return back to the UK, we'll be back to our lovely, extraordinary timings that are TSL. And the drivers will make their way onto the grid here in GB3. And they will get ready to set off for their formation lap for this race. And you can see our order right now in your picture at the moment as we make our way through. It's a long formation lap, of course, around the Zandvoort circuit, understandably so. Let's run you through our grid then for this race. It's Alex Ninowich who starts on pole position alongside Hugo Schwarzer, so those two share the front row on the grid. In third position it's Patrick Husenroder. In fourth it's Noah Lyle. That's your second row of the grid then. And then row 3 sees Gianmarco Pradell in 5th. Will McIntyre is going to be starting in 6th position on the grid. And then we're going to find ourselves moving to the next row on the grid. And the next row of the grid, which is going to see Kanata Lee in 8th. Kanata Lee in 7th rather. Kai Darianani is in 8th position. And then in 9th we are going to have, as we wait for the graphic to come up, Yuan Pusue in 9th, Jack Sherwood is in 10th position on the grid. And then in 11th it's Hayu Yamakoshi. Abby Pulling is in 12th alongside. Let's see what Pulling does. I remember seeing her trying to make some overtakes in Zandvoort. Lucas Flusha is in 13th. He was another driver who was actually battling with Pulling. Reza Siwurathan, Argenti with Prema, he drives for. And his teammate is alongside him on the grid, but he'll go from 14th. Stefan Bostanji is in 15th. Dion Gouda is in 16th place. And then in 17th is Flynn Jacques, Divi Nandin, a late addition to this field. He was, well, of course, we saw him in the opening 2 rounds, but he wasn't actually supposed to be with us for this race. Luckily he is, and he will go from 18th. Bianca Bustamante is in behind in 19th. Keanu Al-Zahari is in 20th position. That's a big shock for him to be down there. We get to more shocks on the grid because we've got high-tech TGR. with Deegan Fairclough alongside Nikita Johnson. More shocks on this field. Absolutely extraordinary stuff. The biggest shock of them all, the man who's usually leading this field to the grid, finds himself instead at the rear of the field after a car issue yesterday in qualifying. It means that it's a complete different approach for him. And we're getting all set and ready to go racing then. This is going to be action-packed stuff as we make our way down towards the bus stop chicane. We make our way down towards the grid. Let's see what Alex Ninovich is going to be able to do. Will Alex Ninovich be able to maintain position? Will he be able to maintain order? So many question marks. I think it's time to get some answers, everybody. In the GB3 Championship, Alex Ninovich getting himself lined up on the grid and lining himself up into position. Here we go. Let's get this party started. And Alex Ninovich on pole. Hugo Schwarzer is alongside on the front row. The lights will come on, and then they will put their foot down, and we'll go racing around Spa-Francorchamps. Freddie Slater, I can see in the hill speed livery, about to get himself into position. Well, it is time to go racing in GB3 2025 around Spa. We will wait for the lights to come on our screen, and that will be the moment where it will be time to go racing around this circuit. They're on the grid. They're awaiting the lights. The green flag gets waved at the back in GB3, and for the third weekend of the season, we have 5 red lights on. Race 1 is underway, and it's a great launch off the line from Alex Ninovich. Wheel to wheel we're going to go. Hugo Schwarzer having to defend as he tries to maintain second place down into the first turn. Patrick Husenroder, one of our winners from earlier on in the season, trying to get his nose in there. Can he get the power down and run wheel to wheel? It looks like he has got second place. Hugo Schwarzer close to the grass as he tries to fight back as we make our way down to Ware Rouge. Hugo Schwarzer fighting back. It's wheel to wheel between the two of them, and they're going to give a huge opportunity to Noah Lyle, who's about to make it 3 wide down the Camel Straight towards the Lecombe chicane. Ninovich with a big gap as we run 3 wide. We go 4 wide out on the grass. There's going to be a big chance. Will McIntyre trying to roll through. Lyle up to second place. Around the outside goes Hugo Schwarzer. As we see dropping down the order is going to be Will McIntyre. He'll try and maintain position. What on earth has happened on that opening lap? We've got a car off in the background. I think that's Lucas Flusha, I should say rather, who was battling with Kai Darianani 4 wide down the Camel Straight. GB3 kicking off in action around this Spa circuit. What on earth have we just seen? Ninovich in P1, Lyle in second. McIntyre's dropped down a place. Hugo Schwarzer is the driver who started in the front row and had to do a lot to try maintain lots of positions. Wasn't able to do so to second place. Ninovich pulling out of town. Unbelievable stuff. What a start to the motor race. As we go past some of the dust that's been put down on the circuit, I believe well, there's a lot of racing going on, so some oil, I'd assume. There's a whole line of it. There's a whole line of it basically coming from the Faniot chicane down basically to the corners right before the back straight. It's all the way down there, and it kind of goes down towards even bus stop, but it ends quite way before that as well. So that's what's going on. The safety car's flying. The safety car's out. Now that's a phrase that's going to sound very weird. The safety car's flying. I mean, if you're going to say safety car's flying, you have to say safety car's flying around the circuit. I mean, you can't just say safety car's flying. I should have completed that sentence. Okay, we're behind the safety car. Then Alex Ninovich, the leader. Deep breath. I know we usually go 3 wide, everybody, around Spa, but 4 wide down the Camel Straight, and Will McIntyre was getting himself onto the grass. What on earth did we just see on that opening lap? That is what you call unbelievable motor racing. Extraordinary. We made our way down towards Eau Rouge. And oh! So there's the car that was stopped. Is that Divi Nandon, I wonder? We are waiting for confirmation. I think that might be Nandon. Apologies for the driver tracker over there. There we go. Pointing in the right direction. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be working, so that's quite annoying. So we make our way through as we find them all taking a look at the data. High Tech watching on. I mean, I've not got confirmation. I think that is Divi Nandon. Yes, that is Divi Nandon out of the race. I have to identify from his face rather than any graphics or anything telling us. But that is Divi Nandon is off. That is disappointment for the driver, who I'd assume would have found out quite late that he was racing for this round. I have to also say the quality of the stream, in terms of the GB3 stream, the bitrate is not good at all. Very blurry pictures, which I've got mine up to 1080p, so it's not my thing, and the graphic is actually high quality. The graphic that they've got over the, of course, screen is high quality. It's the actual stream that really the quality is quite bad in, which is quite sad. Really, really sad, of course. So, we make our way through lap number 2 of the race, and Alex Ninovich is our race leader then. And he'll try to do everything he can to try and maintain this at the moment as well. So, I think we need to confirm the order for you after all of that on the opening lap. Ninovich leads, Lyle is in second, Schwarzer is in third, McIntyre in fourth, and Pat Chisenroda is in 5th position. He was getting himself in the mix. Honestly, if that happened at the start of the season, wish me luck in terms of identifying cars. Honestly, really don't think that would work. In terms of, it would be quite the struggle to identify cars on the opening lap with such blurry TV pictures and all of them battling so hard. Thank God we didn't start the season in Spa, everybody. A bit more of the calmer start at Silverstone. Okay, let's take a look at a replay. So, Chisenroda sends it up the inside. I want to see further back if there was any contact. They all managed to get through turn 1 La Source. What happened to Divi Nandon then? Okay, we're back to live pictures. We're not going to get to see anything, so I don't know what the point of that was, to be fair. We don't really get to, unfortunately, see any of the other pictures. But yes, we thank all of the work that GB3 do. And I think it's, of course, difficult for all of us with our live timings. It's quite difficult for us in terms of having to fix them and everything. So I can imagine it's quite difficult for them, a series that's mainly in the UK, having to like shift around and work with all of these different systems and get everything organised and get everything sorted. So yeah, I might be complaining a little bit, but I thank all of the work that GB3 do. It's a great championship. It's really well promoted, is GB3. And it's quite the good series. It is quite the good series. It's really nice that we are able to see all of the nice viewership come in. Down to the bus stop chicane we go. We go down to turn 1. It's Ninovich, Lyle, and Schwarzer, our top 3. At the moment, we head down towards Eau Rouge and Radion around this circuit. So this will surely be the last lap behind the safety car, I can assume. Yeah, I think we're going to be getting the safety car in by the end of this lap. And then the racing will be able to resume around Spa-Francorchamps, a venue which has seen a lot of drama. I also find it quite nice how we had Freca around this. Of course, we cover Freca and we cover Freca and GB3. We cover the pair as well as Italian F4. But I find it quite nice how on the 2 weeks ago we had Freca at Spa, GB3 at Zandvoort, and now it's going to be a complete switch over where GB3 are the one at Spa. Freka isn't at Zandvoort this week, but it will be next week. So it's kind of like, it's nice to have that little switch over. But, you know, Freka at Zandvoort, guess what that means for myself? More live timings to be organised. However, everything will be live in terms of the full action, in terms of the racing. So, it's actually going to be such a, like, free weekend. There's not going to be a lot going on, which is quite weird. Okay, let's take a look at the forward on a replay. My word, what on earth were we doing? To see Noah Lyle getting up to second place. To see Hugo Schwarzer staying ahead of Will McIntyre. As we went side by side, wheel to wheel. That was really incredible to watch and see how that all unfolded. Back to live pictures we go. We make our way through around this circuit. What an incredible race start it was. I was about to say incredible race as a full. Okay, if you're wondering where Slater is, he's moved up to 18th. Fairclough is in 16th. I want to see a bit of Slater, Fairclough, wheel to wheel. Remember, the Freka people are returning back to this race. So the ones that were out there doing a bit of Freka, they are back with us now for this. Safety car is ending, everybody, at the end of this lap, and it means that we're finally about to get GB3 back on the road. 11 laps of racing in total. That's the distance that we have coming our way for a GB3 race that runs to 25 minutes. Here we go. Coming to the end of the lap. And that means that we're coming to the green flags. Where does Alex Ninovich put his foot down? It was a brilliant start. Usually you'd expect the person on pole to lose the lead by the time we get down to Le Combe. That goes on in most series, including even Formula 1. And I think that tells you how well controlled it was from Alex Ninovich to get the launch, to pull away and not dish out any of the slipstream. He'll hope for that to be the case once again on this restart as we make our way out of the final corner. And it's going to be Noah Lyle running slightly wide, but we are putting our foot down towards La Source on this restart. Lap number 4 out of 11. It's Ninovich, then it's Lyle, then it's Hugo Schwarzer. Husenroder having a little look. They're all darting, moving left and right, trying to see where there's an opportunity. There's a dive bomb in the background there. I think that was Deegan Fairclough sending it up the inside of Stefan Bostanjiv, and that was a way through for Deegan Fairclough. Nice, tidy pass from the number 7 high-tech driver in the background. And I think Dion Gowda is going to get an opportunity now to also go on the attack as well of Stefan Bostanjiv. And immediately Freddie Slater's on the back of Dion Gowda as well. We're about to go wheel to wheel down this straight. So, moving up to second place is Hugo Schwarzer. We're side by side. There goes Gianmarco Pradel, trying to put some pressure on Husenroder. He's got the inside line. Has Gianmarco Pradel, and that will be a position he takes. We're wheel to wheel, and that will be off the road. For Kai Darianani, he was going wheel to wheel with Yuan Pusue. So some fantastic racing as we see some cars go off the road in the background. Rejoining. That'll be super tight as the teammates wheel to wheel at this stage. That'll be Flusha, that'll be Kanata Lee, and it'll be not a lot of margin. To Pouon we go with Alex Ninovich on lap number 4 out of 11. Lyle is really pushing Schwarzer through these corners. I want to see if we can get an angle at the front, whether Schwarzer's being able to stick with Ninovich. It's 4/10 what my timing board's saying, but I don't know whether that's updated at the moment. Yeah, it doesn't look as close. Now it's 1.1 second. There we go. Sector by sector updating. That was off the road in the background. One of the high-tech drivers trying to make a move. I could see there's some gravel being kicked up everywhere as we get some views of the circuit. Pradel's going to get a big chance in a few moments to attack. Maybe even down to the bus stop on Will McIntyre, our winner of the Silverstone Reverse Grid race, of course. Here we go. Pradel to the outside. Pradel will try to get the cut back. Let's see whether he can attack Will McIntyre down towards turn 1. The gap across the line is going to be set at 1.2 seconds. It'll be tight further back. Remember, DRS is open if you are inside 1 second of the car ahead. So it means the overtaking chance gets even larger. So who can make this move then? Let's see. We're going to get DRS enabled down this Kemmel Straight in a few moments' time. And does it open the door? Does it see a chance? We make our way through. Erouge and Radion. Down the Kemmel Straight, but we're about to go now. Who's going to be making a move? So, Will McIntyre's got a chance to take P3 away from Noah Lyle. He's wheel to wheel. Will McIntyre, can he be late on the brakes? Lyle won't want to give it up. There's nothing between the two of them. Further back, Kanato Lee is wheel to wheel with Kai Darianani, who gets ahead. Will McIntyre was able to take P3. Noah Lyle didn't want to give it up, so we weren't sure whether the switch would come in. The switch did come in. Around the outside. That's brave stuff from Kanato Lee. Meanwhile, Flusha is side by side with Yuan Pusui. Flusha squeezes out Yuan Pusui. It is Thriller Minute here in GB3. It's the racing that we wanted, everybody. It's the racing that we're getting. As they all go past that third sector at the moment. Really interested to see in what way the field are going to be attacking. In terms of how we're going to see everyone go about things in a few moments' time. To the bus stop chicane we go. Is there any conservation that takes place? Or is it full attack? 10 minutes so it's a timed race now, as you can see on your screen at the moment even. Right above me. It's a timed race. As we move down to the braking zone. As they all navigate their way through to this fast, rapid, extraordinary part of the circuit. There's going to be, I think, a move coming in for Kanato Lee. He's closing in the driver who, of course, has the experience of racing around Freca around the circuit. All hill speed drivers also raced in Freca, so they weren't part of this at Zandvoort. So technically, it will pay back because they won't have the Zandvoort experience. Yeah, so the Freca drivers won't, of course, have the Zandvoort experience compared to the others in Freca when they actually go there in next week, in a week's time, when they return to that venue. So they all make their way through. It's really, really an interesting, fascinating race, I think it's fair to say. So Ninovic is dominating it. We've seen some mega battles going for second place and downwards, I think, across this race. So it's been really tight. It's been really closely fought between them all. And I think that's what we love. For the action to be close, for the action to be fought very nicely. As we arrive down to the final braking zones of this circuit. You, of course, have the little few corners before you get down to the back straight towards the bus stop chicane. That's your final braking zone, and then after that you're turning right, turning back left, and then you find yourself, guess what, getting to another lap here in GB3. So we've done 6 laps so far in this race, which now turns into 7 laps, everybody. So the race starting to calm down. This is what we call the DRS train now beginning to form in GB3. So yeah, this is the GB3 train, everybody. That's now beginning to form around this circuit. Where they're all glued together as we roar our way through Erouge and into Radion. The hill speeds are about to go on the attack. Slater finds himself up to 10th, having started last on the grid. Slater is not done yet. He wants some more positions. We're breaking the slipstream. Slater moves up to 9th. 7 minutes to go. He's on a charge. He's on the absolute charge at the moment. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Unbelievable stuff from Freddie Slater, showing his talent. Trying to go from last. Trying to move on some places. I mean, I'm telling you, if there's a little bit more chaos in this, in race 2 or race 3, this safety car. What I was about to say was, yeah, we could see this kid literally come all the way to the top to get a podium or something. Safety car is out. Reason why? I have no clue, everybody, but I'm sure our lovely TV direction at GB3 will be able to tell us. And yes, as I mentioned, we thank all of the work that they do. And I think that's Jack Sherwood, according to my calculations at the moment. Yes, Jack Sherwood. So Jack Sherwood finds himself off the road. Teammate, of course, to the driver in 7th, which is Pat Huttenroder. And, well, this is going to lead to the whole field bunched up and a lot more chaos coming near the end. But will Alex Ninovich be able to survive and hang on to take the win? We'll get the clearance hopefully coming soon. Let's take a look at the replay. And Nikita Johnson is the driver who makes contact there with Jack Sherwood. And I think Nikita Johnson's able to continue. He is. Now, we didn't get to properly see it. The angle just cut off. So we couldn't actually properly see how it all looked. I feel like now this GB3 stream has just become too coloured. He's just Spa. He's just Spa, honestly. Oh, we're all having the time of our life, aren't we? And there we go. Nikita Johnson, I think, is in the pit lane. He's made it back to the pits. And he'll find himself out. Unless he's still stationary and they haven't shown us, because the camera isn't working. Has he got back? Nikita Johnson, according to our driver track, if I just take a look at the moment. So he's like around Vaniat, turn 14, 15. So you can see, right at the bottom of your driver track, you can see the number 4 that's stationary. That's him. I think, has he been able to get it to a good location, though, is my question. Will we get more time in this race? Remember, there's no +1 lap in GB3. It could be a 1-lap shootout. Come on, guys. You have 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Sometimes, I mean, in the GB4 race I was watching a week ago, GB4 were racing at Alton Park on Bank Holiday, Monday, I remember. Literally, someone crossed the line by 1 second to win the race. In terms of, like, what I mean by that is, you know, the clock ticks down. There's not +1 lap, so it ends whenever the clock ticks 0. The clock ticks 0 a second before the leader crossed the line. So he had to do 1 less lap, and that was really critical because it was a wet to dry race. The drivers behind had the correct strategy on at the time. They were closing in like 10 seconds per lap. Had there been 1 more lap, he would have been finished. Our race winner, our eventual race winner. So yeah, I've really loved watching GB3, and I think it's always nice that you can comment on GB3 but watch GB4 a little bit. A lot of it on the same weekend, of course. Not for this one, but yeah, Alton Park can be a bit narrow for these cars, I'd assume. Yeah, but maybe next year we might cover GB4. Who knows? I'm gonna have to see, because I already feel like, you know, it's starting to get, we're starting to cover it a lot in JB Motorsports. So it's like, you know, calm down, calm down. I'm loving my roles, especially within F2 and F3 and Porsche. So I really wanna. And along with hosting F1, I'm really loving all of the main stuff on the F1 weekend. So I don't really want to affect that too much. So yeah, sometimes it can get very stressful if you're just doing so much commentary. There might be some weekends where maybe later this year I just dump all of this to, like, all of the GB3 action to maybe a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday premiere. So everything's done a little bit later, just to be able to enjoy the overall experience of a Formula 1 weekend. And Formula 2 and Formula 3 that comes with it as well. We thank all the marshals who are going to work right now, and thank all of the marshals across the entire circuit who assist and allow us to go motor racing safely. Down to the Puan corner we go. Two minutes to go. What's the lap? We're setting 2 minute 16s. next lap will be the last lap. They need to finish now. It won't be cleared up in time. What a disappointment. The race will end behind the safety car. We're not going to get a finish at the end. The marshals weren't quick enough, unfortunately. So the race will end behind the safety car. That's disappointing. But Alex Ninovich is like, yeah, say whatever you want. Disappointing, whatever. I've just dominated this race. It's my race. Which it is. It absolutely is. Alex Ninovich deserving to win this. Completely deserving to win this. Oh, that's a shame, though, that we won't be able to go racing again. And we won't be able to see what Freddie Slater would have been able to do on that restart. He already moved up to 9th. But luckily, we've got more racing coming up today later on for GB3. So that's the good thing. That's the positive thing. One minute to go on the clock then. The recovery takes place. Hold on. Could we get it? Where's the field? Could they call it in? Could they call it in at this moment? It's recovered. It's out of the way. Where's the field? It's in the support pit lane. Could they call it in time? Yes, we're going green. They've not told us that the safety car's coming in, but we are going green. We're watching the tow truck come in, but we need to go to the field because we are green flag racing. And here we go. Out of the bus stop chicane. They were able to clean it up in time. Somehow, the field went, I think the safety car went slowly at the end in the last sector. And it's allowed us to go racing. So we didn't need to go on to the next lap. We did go racing on this lap instead. And we are going to turn 1 with a Slater dive bomb. P8 for the man who started 23rd and last on the grid. Alex Ninovich leading us through a Rouge and Radion. Hugo Schwarzer closing in. Will McIntyre's got a chance. Slater is going to have a huge opportunity to get himself a couple more positions at the end. I don't believe it. Hugo Schwarzer versus Will McIntyre. Schwarzer's getting the toe of Alex Ninovich. Here we go to the braking zone. In the battle for the lead. In the battle for second place. And Schwarzer's got it. He runs off the road. Cutting the corner is also Kanato Lee. Cars are absolutely everywhere as Pradell tries to get the power down. We've been here before. Oh no, we've got a car off in the background. A car goes wide in the background. We're wheel to wheel on the last lap. Absolutely everywhere. Once again, it's a similar story. Our race leaders pulling up the road. They're going wild from second downwards. Promoting themselves up to third position is surely going to be Kanato Lee. Who else can make some moves at the end? An extraordinary motor race coming to a close on the last lap. Pradell around the outside. Can Pradell make the move on Noah Lyle? Noah Lyle's dropped down. We're wheel to wheel in the middle of the circuit. Lots of dust and everything being kicked up. Slater's in 8th. Can he get ahead of Hützenroder? Can he get ahead of Pradell? This is going to be an extraordinary end to this race. While it may be an extraordinary end to the race further back, it has been a brilliant performance from Alex Ninovich, arriving down to the last few corners on the last lap. It is absolutely wild behind, but Alex Ninovich makes his way out of the bus stop chicane. We'll get to the checkered flag first. Alex Ninovich wins at Spa in the battle for second place. It is going to be Hugo Schwarzer as off the road in the background. Will surely go Hützenroder, and moving up across the line, Slater dropped down to 10th. We had Darian Arnie in 8th. Fairclough finished in 9th. Those were a couple of the changes at the end. It was Lee in 3rd, Lyle in 4th, McIntyre in 5th, Pradell, Hützenroder, Darian Arnie, Fairclough, and as I mentioned, Slater. It was side by side. It was 4 wide to the line in the battle. 4, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, I think. Unbelievable. Incredible. But the race winner is Alex Ninovich. What a performance. Rodin Motorsport can celebrate. Hugo Schwarzer gives his team a second. And Kanato Lee in third. That's a pure last lap where you don't know what's going to happen. That's what we love about motor racing. That's what we love about racing. Incredible. That's what I wanted to see across this race. Fantastic action. I wonder whether we're going to get a replay of that 4 wide to the line, possibly. If not, I'm going to try take a look right now before we head off. I want to see this. I want to see if we can spot this 4 wide to the line. As it's on YouTube, I've just perfectly rewinded it. Just going to skip past Alex Ninowich's winning moment. So, the camera, of course, will stay stationary. So, Schwarzer, Lee, I'm just trying to identify to see where. So then we're going to get Lyle, McIntyre. Unbelievable. It must have been that brawl. They were like 3 wide and I think someone maybe just had... Yeah, they were very nearly 4 wide. So it was that group. That gaggle across the line that went so tight. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. 1 minute 17, by the way, is the image, is the still image I'm looking at on the GB3 YouTube stream. So to go take a look at yourself if you are synced up with us right now at the moment. Go back on your stream and pause it and just review that. Cars scattered across the line. Perfect stuff in GB3. Well, that wraps up our coverage here of this incredible championship around Spa. We will be back live indeed, for race 2 later on. 2 races on Saturday, 1 on Sunday for this week. So it's slightly different to what we're used to. So we get double the action today, 1 less race tomorrow as well. But I think the reverse grid race deserves its own day, to be fair. So we'll be back for race 2 later on to see who's going to be taking the win. Goodbye.